Have you ever taken a moment to reflect on the promise found in Matthew 7:7? Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. How is your prayer life today? Are you persistent in your asking, or have you grown weary? God's promise still stands, but sometimes it's not about if we're asking, but how we're asking. Let's examine our hearts, our faith, and our consistency in seeking Him. God doesn't say, "Ask once, and you shall receive." He calls us to keep asking, to persist in prayer without growing weary. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 17 says, "Pray without ceasing." This verse emphasizes the importance of maintaining a prayerful attitude and constantly seeking God's presence throughout. Persistent prayer transforms us. It shifts our attitude, sharpens our desire, and deepens our connection with God. The more we ask, the more earnestly we seek, the more we align our hearts with His will. Let's read from 1 Kings 18 for 42 to 44. So Ahab went off to eat and drink, but Elijah climbed to the top of Mount Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. "Go and look toward the sea," he told his servant. And the servant went and looked. "There is nothing there," he said. 7 times Elijah said, "Go back." The 7th time the servant reported, "A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea." So Elijah said, "Go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariot and go down before the rain stops you." This took place after a 3.5-year drought. Elijah didn't pray once or twice. He prayed 7 times. He didn't give up when there was no sign of change. He persisted. And on the 7th time, his servant finally saw a small cloud, the beginning of the miracle. Now listen to what James 5 verse 17 to 18 says. "Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. And it did not rain on the land for 3 years and 6 months. And he prayed again, and the heavens gave rain, and the earth produced its fruit." Don't miss that. Elijah was a man just like us. He wasn't some supernatural being. He had weaknesses, struggles, and fears, just like you and me. But those weaknesses didn't stop him from serving God. They didn't stop him from praying bold, powerful prayers. Too often, we let our flaws and failures become excuses. "I'm not strong enough. I'm not holy enough. I'm too broken." But Elijah's story tells us, God doesn't need perfect people. He needs persistent ones. So how many times have you prayed and seen nothing? Once? Twice? Maybe 3 times? Elijah prayed 7 times before he saw even a hint of rain. Don't stop on the 6th. Your 7th could be the breakthrough. Keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking, because God still answers the prayers of those who refuse to give up. There is something that must go hand in hand with persistent prayer, and that is living faith. In John 11 or 40, Jesus said to Martha at the tomb of Lazarus, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Here, Jesus wasn't just speaking about a physical resurrection. He was revealing a deeper truth. Faith is the key to experiencing the miraculous power and glory of God. Without faith, even the most extraordinary works of God can go unnoticed or unappreciated. Faith unlocks divine power. Believing is the grand key that allows us to witness the glorious fingerprints of God in our lives. But here's the challenge. Many people lack a living, active faith. This is why they rarely see the full power of God at work. The weakness in their spiritual life is directly connected to unbelief. Instead of trusting God, many put more faith in their own strength and plans. You take matters into your own hands, rely on your abilities, create detailed plans, but pray very little. Your faith becomes a fleeting emotion instead of a steadfast trust. You may think you have faith, but if it fades in trials, it was never rooted. When you fail to recognize your deep need for God or His deep willingness to provide, you give up too quickly. You stop asking. You stop believing. You stop trusting. If you want to experience the power of God, if you want to see prayers answered, and if you desire to grow in faith, then you must pray persistently, believe deeply, trust fully, and persevere faithfully. Living faith is not passive. It is active, expectant, and unrelenting in its pursuit of God's will. Persistent, faith-filled prayer brings us closer to Christ. Our prayer should be as earnest and persistent as the plea of the friend who knocked at midnight, asking for bread, Luke 11 verse 5 to 8. He didn't give up after one attempt. He kept knocking until the door was opened. In the same way, The more steadfast and passionate our prayers, the deeper our spiritual union with Christ becomes. As our faith grows, so does our ability to receive God's blessings. Persistent prayer builds a stronger, more unshakable faith. Our part is simple yet powerful. Pray and believe. Watch and pray. Remain spiritually alert. Align your actions and words with the prayers you lift before God. As 1 Corinthians 3:9 reminds us, "For we are laborers together with God." Prayer is not just asking, it's a partnership with the prayer-hearing God. When we truly believe our actions reflect that faith, we speak in faith, we act in faith, we live in faith. But remember this, it will make an eternal difference whether trials reveal your faith to be real or expose your prayers as empty routine. When hardship comes, will it prove your faith genuine or show that your prayers were merely words without substance? If you desire to experience the power of answered prayer, then pray not only with words, but with heart, faith, and action. Be a co-laborer with God. Live in harmony with your prayers.